this one. Have a look in your own eyes. No cure for this one. There's no cure for this one! 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 This one! This one! This one! There's no cure for this one!
Hello everyone, I'm Tony Doherty and welcome to another week of Max's Muscle TV. Really great show tonight as I'll be taking you through a fantastic beginner's routine that shows you how to put together some of the back-to-basics info we taught you earlier in the year when you were just starting out. And Extreme Chef Peter Wright and I are back in the kitchen to show you the nutritional secret that experienced trainers know is the key to getting the best results from all your hard work in the gym. First up though, folks, Max's team member and experienced bodybuilder Dale Ellis and 2012 challenge finalist Peter Venz are back to take us through a basic but effective workout. Take it away, boys.
Today we're hitting shoulders. So we're going to cover a good 5 exercises for shoulders today.
My philosophy is to always shock the body. Don't let the body get used to the training. I really try and focus on varying my workouts. So from one week to the next, if I'm doing shoulders, I'll do one set exercises one week, I'll do a completely different set the next week. I see a lot of young people in the gym prancing around, throwing big weights around. In the past, I may have used 25, 27 kilo dumbbells for bicep curls. Now I can get the same workout using 12s. It's about the technique, not about the weight.
We can lift a hell of a lot more weight than we do. You don't need to be lifting heavy weights. It'd be different if we're doing legs. If we're doing legs, then we would be pushing some heavier weights. I've got to go to the old man machine, the pin-loaded machine first of all, and do a few warm-up, get the blood in there, into the shoulders. So that's purely just as a warming-up exercise. If I feel sort of a little bit weak, I'm going to go straight to a pin-loaded machine and use that. I just find it's a good, easy exercise to do that's just going to get all the assisted muscles around the area that you're trying to warm up. So we'll go from there. And then our first real exercises will be dumbbell shoulder press. I like a good full lockout at the top, just nice and controlled. Probably not too heavy, but just getting out some good quality reps. We're working, what, 8, maybe 10 rep range, but with good form. Every single week will be a dumbbell shoulder press, because then if I change everything around all the time, don't know where I was, don't know where I'm going to, so I like to keep the dumbbell shoulder press in there.
Second one we're going to go to is on the cable machine, just doing lateral side raise. And I like to do 5 in front and 5 behind. I just find it hits the traps from a different angle. Dale has a bit of trouble with his shoulder, so he'll just remain in front. I just find I get a really good burn just by doing 5 in front, 5 behind. I like using a cable because it just maintains that constant pressure and constant resistance on your muscle throughout the exercise. For me, it allows me to maintain a really good form and really focus on the muscle that I'm trying to hit. I see a lot of people using momentum instead of their muscles to lift the weight, whereas it's a bit harder to get away with that with the cable machine. The next exercise we'll be doing is standing upright rows using the cable machine and a more straight bar. The only variation I do to this exercise, when I'm using a straight bar, I tend to lift the bar up to my chin, but with the cable machine, I'm looking at light weight, I'm looking at slow repetitions, I'm looking at a full stretch at the bottom, and actually lift the weight right up to above my head. And I find that really hits the target areas at the back of the shoulders there, and after sort of 14, 15 reps, it really burns out that target area.
You find that form can go, especially when you start to get into your second, third exercise, depending on what your prep has been like with work and food and things like that, whether you're feeling good. The cable does have that advantage because there's an anchor point, whereas when you're using free weights, you can tend to find that you can sway and cheat a bit, but it's just being mindful.
Once again, I think focus on the weight, don't go too heavy, focus on your technique. It's really important just to remain stable, keep your back upright and just move slowly through the exercise.
The next exercise we do, I don't even know whether it has a name for it. It's basically dumbbells lying down on a pronated bench isolation movement. It's incorporating 3 sort of movements into the one, and we're literally using 3 kilo dumbbells, and we'll be huffing and puffing and crying like little girls. So it's a good finishing exercise that sort of just locks out any assisted muscles and you're just hitting the areas that you want. I think we've been conditioned into, right from a young age, of going into the gym and lifting heavy, putting more weight on, and there's a school of thought out there that you're not going to grow unless you're increasing your weights. And that is still to this day, a very common practice way of training. It might work for some people. It depends what you're training for. If you're a powerlifter, I can understand lifting more weight. If you're a bodybuilder, we're trying to create something. And it does not necessarily mean having to lift weight. As you get older, you've got hindsight and you learn what not to do, or you learn what you did wrong. And that's where most people's injuries come from, and that's just from stupidity.
We're both very technique focused and not so weight focused. And look, we're both 39, we're no spring chickens. And I think we're both probably past that ego-driven stage where we walk into the gym and we're looking around to see what weights everyone's lifting. You know, it tends to be something you do when you're younger. I don't care about that anymore. What I care about is getting a good workout, isolating that muscle and walking out of the gym with no injuries or strains.
All right, guys, that's the end of our shoulder routine for today. We're a bit torched.
Yeah, thanks to Peter and Dale there, particularly Peter, who just 12 months ago was a lot like some of you folks, sitting home and wishing and wondering about getting into the shape of his life. Well, he made one important decision, and that was to get involved in the challenge, to not only change his physique, but to change his life as well. The good news is, folks, this year's challenge is just around the corner, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. It's back and set to begin mid-July this year, folks, and one of the big changes this year is there's a new separate men's and women's division with separate judging and separate prizes too. If you want to find out more, just head to either maxchallenge.com.au for the men's challenge or maxinschallenge.com.au for the ladies. While you're there, check out the video outlining the incredible stories and results of last year's top 10 challenges. It's truly inspirational stuff. And if you like, leave us your contact details and we'll be in touch with you about how and when you can get involved when the challenge begins later this year. Registrations are opening on July 15, folks. There's heaps of support, over $200,000 worth of prizes on offer, so what are you waiting for? It all starts again soon, so be inspired, be involved and get on board. You won't regret it. OK, time for a short break. We'll see you right after this.
There's no cure for this!